Pinakog, ano na.
Go na, okay na.
So good morning once again. I am Rachel Anasalo Fuentes and will be the one who continue the topic. So production function. Production is the creation of goods and services using the inputs of production. The physical relationship between the inputs and outputs of goods and services at a given period of time, ceteris paribus, is also called a production function, and it's expressed in a mathematical form. So there is a form in production of function. So Q is equal to F, open close parenthesis, whereas Q is the output and X is the input, and F is the function of process. So next is output. Output is refers to goods and services that we have been created using production input. So output, it is a, for example of this, our things that being kaysa usab at ay wala na ko mauna-unaan ay rag ikat day pa dayon ra na. So output is the outcome of your um, processing of production. So input of production, it is refers to the factors of production, which includes land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Which is input is the one is inside of the capital, our labor, entrepreneurship, and other things that includes of a certain company. So the input, it is the one that doing the things, and the output, it is the one that are um, outcome of the goods and our services. So next, inputs are classified as follow. Fixed input, they are those that remains regardless or that volume or quantity of production. This means that whether you produce or not, the factors of production is unchanged. So fixed input, from fix itself, it is a unchangeable production or the inputs. For example of this, our land, even though you produce or not, the land is will never be changed or it never will be changed. So the land or the machinery, for example, also is a fixed input of ours. So the variable inputs, these are those that vary in accordance to the volume of quantity of production. If there is no production, then there is no variable inputs. For example of these variable inputs is the workers. If the workers will never be work, or there will be no labor for the workers, then there is no production that will be outcome. So that is the variable inputs. Next, so production analysis with one variable input. The law of diminished returns, it states that when the successive units of the variable input is combined, the total product or the TP or the output Q will increase. But beyond some points that the resulting increases in output will become smaller and smaller. The follow concept will be used in analyzing this principle. So when when you combine the variable input and the fixed input, there will be the outcome of increasing of the output. But then there are times that when you combine both of them, there is an outcome of smaller and smaller output. But then that is in beyond of every scenarios of producing. So the next reporter will be discussing some of the principle of this.
Good
afternoon, everyone. I am the next reporter. I will be the one continuing the report of Ms. Rachel Anfantes. So, total product. It refers to the total production or output. Marginal physical product. It is the additional output produced by employing one additional unit of input, holding the level of usage of all other inputs constant. So, MP equals Q over MP equals output over input, or using output to denote the total product. Thus, marginal product equals output over input. Average physical product. It is the output produced per unit of the input. Average product equals total product over input, or using Q to denote the total product. Thus, average product equals output over input. Next die. Table 1. Table 1, this shows the production schedule of rice farmer given the variable input workers. Total, average, and marginal production in these cases is measured in physical units, kavans. As more workers are employed, total product increases, although at some point beyond the 8th worker, production has declined. Increases in the production of rice as an additional worker is hired. It is reflected by the marginal product column. We can observe that each additional workers from worker 1 to worker 2 to the 7th worker yields positive increases to production. However, 8 increments to production in diminishing these scenarios explain the law of diminishing returns at work. This means that we cannot produce every rice needs in our country in a single piece of land. Further, table 1 is graphically illustrated in figure 1. So, as you can see in the table, pag maabot gud siya 8, nagkabantay mo nga, nagkagamay ila production. So, mugo ni siya nga dili gud nato siya pwede nga isalig sa usa ka lugar ang pag-produce sa mga rice na ginagamit sa atong country. Next die. The 3 stages of production. Stage 1. The production process is characterized by increasing the AP. In figure 5.1, this occurs from the origin up to x equals 4. The increasing AP is explained by the specialization and teamwork gained from the additional X. Moreover, at this stage, the fixed input is grossly underutilized. The point of equal between average product and marginal product service as the boundary between stage 1 and 2 and the production process. At this point of intersection MP equals AP, it is noticeable that the AP has reached the maximum value. So the stage 1 is period of the most growth in the company production. In this period, each additional variable input will produce more products. This signifies an increasing marginal return. The investment on the variable input outweighs the cost of producing an additional product at an increasing rate. Usapod nga, ang example ani is kabantay man ang example ani is employee produce 5 cans by himself. 2 employees may produce 15 cans between the 2 of them. So kanang murag kung madungagan ang katrabaho nimo or kauban nimo murag nagka-produce mo kadaghan pud yung produce mo ni siya ang sa stage 1. 2, the production process corresponds to the range from x from 5 up to 8. The endpoint of the stage 2 corresponds to the point of maximum output of the TP curve. The maximum TP happens when the to 0, MP equals 0. This serve as the boundary between stage 2 and 3 of the production process. At this level, MP and AP are declining. Stage 3 of the production process encompasses the range of X over which are the total products is declining. So, katong sa stage 1, nagkaano siya, ang curves ato is murag nagka-increase na himo siya positive. Katong stage 1 is positive. The second stage is the period where marginal returns start to decrease, nagkagamay. Each additional variable input will produce additional units by decreasing rate. This is because the law of diminishing returns, output steadily decrease on each additional unit of variable input, holding all the other inputs fixed. For example, ani is kaning previous employees add 9 more cans to produce. The next employee may only add 8 more cans to produce. The total product ani is kaning ang curve ani is hinahinay siya og kaubos, nagkahinay siya og drop third stage. Occurs when x exceeds 8, where the crowding of out effects overwhelms the addition occurs. In order to identify the stages of reducing, the condition of boundaries should be satisfied as shown in the table 2 and figure 1. So, sa table 3, siya kaning the marginal return start to turn negative. So, siya negative. Additional more variable inputs become counterproductive. An additional source of labor will lessen overall production. So, pag mudungag ka og kaning labor sa trabaho sa trabahante ba nimo, murag nagkagamay inyong overall production. For example, is kaning hiring an additional employee to produce cans will actually result of fewer cans to produce overall. This may due to the factors such as labor capacity and efficiency limitations. In this stage, the total products start to tend down. Murag nagka-decrease na siya nga hantod nabot siya og negative. Mura to tanan ang ako part. Thank you.